Who will win the blockbuster bantamweight title fight between Aljamain Sterling and Suga Sean O'Malley? Let's hear what UFC fighters have to say. We'll kick things off with Henry Cejudo, who most recently fought Sterling at UFC 288, where he lost by a razor-close decision. The fight was back and forth, with both fighters having their moments, although Sterling had the bigger ones. For instance, he managed to secure 4 takedowns against the Olympic gold medalist. If Sterling can take Cejudo down, what makes anyone think that he can't do the same against a BJJ brown belt like O'Malley?
I do believe Aljamain Sterling is going to press him, get him against the cage, and then, if he's able to take me down, he can take any of those guys down. So Sean's going to be in trouble. Sean just relies on his striking. I'm sure he works in the jiu-jitsu, but in MMA, it's just different. I do believe that Sterling's going to get on top of him and just pretty much just hurt him.
Cory Sandhagen has an interesting prediction for the fight. The top bantamweight is one of the key stakeholders in the division as far as title contention is concerned, and, most importantly, he has a history with Sterling that dates back to UFC 250, where he was choked out in less than 2 minutes. Now, on an impressive 3-fight winning streak, Sandhagen believes he's in pole position to fight for the belt. But who will he face?
I think Sterling's going to win just because I think he's a way better competitor than O'Malley is. But I want to fight Sterling because I want my revenge, and I don't want him to leave the division and have us all look like a bunch of bitches without taking an L before he takes off. So I want my revenge on Sterling, but from a fan perspective, I know everyone wants to watch me and O'Malley fight, so it's kind of a win-win for me.
Wrestling and grappling is the biggest question mark for Sean O'Malley ahead of UFC 292, but his coach Tim Welch believes he has a very underrated takedown defense. And on top of that, he has a striking skill set that will shut Sterling's lights out without a shadow of a doubt.
Sugar's reaction times are so good, and if you make a mistake striking, look at Peter Yan, how high his guard is and how sharp of a striker he was, and Sugar was able to find his chin and drop him. I just cannot see. I think Sugar's going to crack him. I think he's going to hurt him, wobble him, and Alger's going to take a shot, and he's probably going to put him to sleep one way or another.
TJ Dillashaw begs to differ, however. Another past victim of Sterling, Dillashaw is rooting for O'Malley because they've met in the past and he has a soft corner for Suga Sean. But having experienced Sterling's strength and power firsthand at UFC 280, he thinks O'Malley doesn't really stand a chance against the reigning champion.
I'm rooting for O'Malley just because I think he's a good character for the sport. He's great for the weight class. I've interacted with him. I actually like the guy. But Sterling's just too good. His pressure is going to be there to get the takedown. He's for sure going to get the takedown. He's going to get the back. He'll end up submitting.
While Cory Sandhagen has a history with Aljamain Sterling, Marlon Vera has a history with Sean O'Malley dating back to UFC 252, where Vera damaged O'Malley's perineal nerve with low kicks before finishing the fight with elbows on the mat. For a start, Vera thinks O'Malley doesn't deserve a title shot. But it doesn't really matter because Cheeto thinks his arch rival probably won't win anyway.
Who he beat, who he's been in a fight with. You know what I'm saying? That one-punch team won't last forever. We saw it with Johnny Hendricks, maybe 3-4 fights, and after that, once you fight a better caliber of guys, it just don't happen like that. And in paper, it's hard to think O'Malley's going to win. But he could, and that would only benefit me. But I'm not really rooting for nobody, so we'll see what happens. I'm ready to fight, and I know that.
Umar Nurmagomedov is the scariest prospect in the UFC bantamweight division, and if it wasn't for an injury that forced him to withdraw from his scheduled bout against Cory Sandhagen, maybe he would have been the next in line for a title shot. Still, Nurmagomedov is 1 or 2 big wins away from earning a title shot, so he'll be keeping a close eye on the UFC 292 main event. Who is Umar backing? Well, here's what he said, and I quote, "Is Sean O'Malley the man to dethrone Aljamain Sterling? Never. Aljo will finish him. It's an easy fight for him." The nicest mother effer in the sport, Stephen Thompson, is one of the best strikers in the promotion ever at 40+. So it's only natural that he'll back a fellow striker to do the job at UFC 292, right? Wrong. Although Thompson has a soft corner for Sterling, he's keeping his biases in check while predicting a win for his buddy.
Oh man, gotta go for my buddy Aljamain. Aljamain, we go way back. I think his wrestling credentials is going to help him win this fight. He's got a long opponent in O'Malley, but I think he can close that gap.
UFC featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski will also be keeping a close eye on the UFC 292 main event because Aljamain Sterling recently said that he will move up to featherweight after taking out Sean O'Malley. That means we might get to see a potential fight between the two phenoms. Giving his verdict, Volkanovski said that he's leaning towards Sterling, but there's a catch.
I think Sean O'Malley definitely has a confidence to stay composed and be sharp on the feet and not hesitate too much because of it. But I mean, if I had to lean towards someone, 5 rounds, probably Aljo. But I definitely can see Sean O'Malley catching him.
Rising flyweight star Jasmine Yesadavaches was one of the many people who didn't give Aljamain Sterling the credit he deserved for taking out the best in the business. But the champ has certainly won her over.
I gotta be honest, I wasn't on the Aljo train for a while, but every fight, I was saying, I think it was 2 fights ago, I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? I think that there's more to this guy than people are saying, that people are giving respect to. Like, just like he's saying, like, put respect on my name. I get why he's saying that. I think he's gonna take it. I think he's gonna win it.
Well, as things stand, not many are backing O'Malley to get the job done come fight night. So it's safe to say that it'll be a bit of an upset if O'Malley manages to capture the belt. It's understandable, because O'Malley hasn't proven himself as Sterling has, but the talent is surely there, and the confidence is even higher, especially when O'Malley's feeling fast and accurate.
I'd say no. Go in there, get the job done. He goes up to 45. No one cares, and then I keep fighting.
Sterling thinks O'Malley's tripping if he thinks he'll win. Quote, Sean will be a good striking test, but he makes one mistake and he'll be on his back. Ground and pound TKO, round 2. I've seen it play out 100 times now. Almost time to execute the vision. Oh, and here's a different Sterling prediction.
I guarantee you, we step in there, I think I fold that man in half in 1 round. It's just going to... Same thing I did to Sandhagen. Go out there, pressure forward. He's going to use his footwork. I'm going to cut off the cage like I was just talking about. Eventually, he's going to be on his back foot, let him throw a stupid kick that I'm going to catch. I'm going to body lock him. I'm going to fold him in half like a lawn chair, and that's going to be the fight.
Who do you think will win the bantamweight title fight between Aljamain Sterling and Sean O'Malley at UFC 292? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. To stay up to date with the latest happenings in the world of mixed martial arts, please subscribe to Takedown MMA and turn on those notifications. Thank you for your continued love and support, and we'll see you in the next one.